stopping war, spreading peace.
Let's talk about stopping war. Donald Trump famously said that he was going to stop the war in Ukraine in 24 hours. What do you think about that?
He said he said he could have. He did say that. What do I think about that? I think that was more of him saying that. I don't think that's something that's actually possible.
You mean he was just saying it, but he knew it wasn't possible?
Sometimes he does that. I mean, that's where people want to call him out and say he's a liar, he's a con man.
What are your thoughts on the first 100 days of the Trump presidency?
I think it's wonderful. I think he's a wonderful president, best president that really loves the American people, and he loves us. He loves his country because, he's the only man that could do this. I mean, who can replace this wonderful man that we have right now? He's blessed. He missed a bullet a couple times. His life was saved. I mean, just look at what he's done. And I know he has the best intentions in the world of making America great again, because he's put everything on the line, and I give him credit for that. And I'll pray for that man every single day.
Boy, I have to say, I just don't think we talk enough about the incompetence. The just rank of how they accomplish things and the price we are paying for his inability to it's as though everything that occurs on the world stage is just another weekly episode of his program. What's this week's episode? Liberation Day and tariffs. Great. Let's do that. Oh, hey, it's tanking the bond market and everybody is freaking out. Oh, great. Yeah, no, that's the plan. Now we're just going to give everybody 90 days. And then he comes on and goes, everybody's kissing my make deals. But nobody seems to be making any deals. And so then we just move on to the next episode. Oh, this week's episode is we're going to go in with the military to Los Angeles because that's exploding in chaos and violence, even though it's not. And God, if anybody, has experience dealing with unrest in Los Angeles, it's the people that the cops that already live there. And now it's Iran, and it's just, hey, it's the Iran episode. And I gave him 60 days because I'm the deal maker in chief and we're going to have a nuclear deal. And this is all going according to plan. And it's utter incompetence. We're in such a bizarro world.
Donald Trump seems determined to hire people who comparatively make him look kind of smart.
So just to start with the basics here, Mr. Secretary, the total all-in request for FY26 is $441.2 billion, correct? Okay,
Yeah.
and how much of your medical services request is for personnel? And how many personnel through this medical services request do you intend to employ in FY26?
At the current, and I also have, I have my budget, Andrew, here as well, if there's the numbers that we need, if Mr. Chairman, with yours. The issue that you brought up is right now there are currently 465,000 employees in VA as a whole. VHA has 409,000 of those.
I'm so sorry, Mr. The question is, how many staff do you intend to employ through the medical services budget in FY26?
Do we, Andrew? 396,000.
396,000.
Yes.
Okay. The FY25 request, and just to be clear, that's intended staffing of medical services in FY26. Say the number again.
395? 396,000.
396,000. Okay. How many physicians do you intend to employ in FY26?
Physicians.
Physicians, we employ a large number of physicians.
I'm sorry, who are you?
Andrew is our budget. Right now, we currently have 28,868 physicians.
Yeah, so how many physicians do you intend to employ in FY26?
We're not cutting physicians, so at this point in time under that budget, we're still looking to continue at 28,868 at minimum, because we're also having to add physicians which are exempt. So we're adding those.
What we usually.
And because
this is, for example, the budget request from 25, and it specifies that for 25 we're requested 25,099 physicians. So we usually get this in advance of this hearing. So my question is just how many doctors you intend to employ.
Yeah, and at this point in time, I'll take that and get it back to you. As I told you yesterday on the phone, there'll be some more information coming later this week.
Okay, how about dentists?
Same answer.
Do you have the number for nurses?
We currently employ 91,040. I'll have the.
But my question is how many?
And I understand, and the breakdown will be provided as I said yesterday.
Okay, well, how have you calculated the money you need for personnel without having yet decided how many personnel to employ?
In the breakdown of the budget, which right now is still going on, these are the numbers that we are using to go forward from last year's budget into this year's budget. And at this point, there is also a gap in how many we have currently hired and not hired. And so at this point, I'll have the numbers for you that we've not provided yet. We'll be providing those numbers.
But you've proposed about $17 or $18 billion cut to the medical services account, correct?
That is not. The president's budget makes adjustments to the funding that devote additional funding appropriate funding to community care. This is not a cut to total funding to VHA. In fact, the total medical care budget grew by 17% to $24 billion.
Not medical care, medical services. So here's your.
Okay.
Just to be clear, I mean, the chairman mentioned this. We usually get.
I understand completely.
Specifies how many folks you intend to employ. We have a 26-page PowerPoint. But in that 26-page PowerPoint, here are specified about $17 billion in cuts to the medical services budget. So what are you cutting in medical services? Specifically, who are you cutting, since that's exclusively personnel?
Again, and this is the issue that we have right now, and I'll just state this for either of us to go back in circles. We'll be providing more of those numbers, as I said yesterday on our phone call this week. So at this point in time, the numbers that we're providing are the numbers that we have at this point. I'll be happy to talk to you further about those later.
And understand that's why we usually get these in advance of this hearing. I mean, I'm wondering if we need to reconvene having received the full budget request. Because the thing that is causing a lot of consternation is this proposed $17, $18 billion cut to medical services. I mean, and so today is the budget hearing where you justify the budget request. So how do you justify this cut to medical services, and who are you going to fire in order to pay for it?
And I'll go back to the same answer I gave you just a few minutes ago. I mean, in this process, we'll have the more information on that part of it as we go forward. The basis of the budget was based on our workforce as it existed and moving forward, and the numbers have not been cut to the medical.
I'm sorry. Yes,
the care budget.
You have in your PowerPoint here $17 to $18 billion in cuts to medical services. Again, this is a 26-page PowerPoint to justify the budget. So. And this is the budget hearing, so who's getting fired? I don't know, Mr. Chairman, if we need to reconvene after they send us the materials, but I think this is insufficient. Clearly, and I'll follow up in my next round. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
If this administration were worried about competence, they wouldn't be firing experts and then hiring Fox News hosts. This is all about the show for Trump, and all about privatization and tax cuts for his billionaire donors. If they cared about governing, they'd be investing in public services, not gutting them, but that's never been the point. This is about power, distraction, and handing the keys of government over to the highest bidder, something Republicans have been dreaming about for decades. We're just supposed to watch the circus and then foot the bill. Democrats can't keep falling into the trap of lurching to the right to court the same people who voted for Donald Trump. Zohran Mamdani's New York City mayoral primary campaign's success shows just how much hunger there is for real progressive policies when paired with young, charismatic leaders. And if the DNC wants to survive, maybe it could start taking some notes. Maybe some of those disillusioned Trump voters will see that their material conditions would be better with the alternative, and maybe not, but their votes aren't more valuable than those of people who believe in equity and inclusion and a government that actually works for us. We've been ignored and let down by establishment Democrats for far too long.